Hee hee hee! It's Whip Tips. You came to the right place. Today we're going to start off our first episode of Honda CRV 123. And I like me some bluegrass, so let's kick it off.
So what's this channel going to be about? Well, this is the first video of a new channel that I'm setting up. And basically, in addition to writing science fiction, I have a number of hobbies, one of which is car repair. And I'm also a Honda guy. I've got 3 Hondas right now in my family, and I love them. Now, they have their problems. They're not perfect. I used to have Toyotas, and I loved Toyotas, and in some ways, Toyotas are better. But over the years, I've just kind of gotten accustomed to Honda, used to the problems, used to what the engines, how they're laid out, what they look like, etc. And so I just kind of got in a groove, and I stuck with Honda, and that's where I am. So what is this channel going to be about, at least at first? Well, I purchased a 2005 Honda CRV all-wheel drive salvage title. The thing had some damage when I got it. So I wanted a project car. Let's say that up front, right? And I live in South Carolina, where you're allowed to drive cars with a salvage title. You don't have to get a rebuilt title. So I went to a used car lot. I knew that they had this exact model that I wanted. I loved the color, a silver, and I'll put pictures up here throughout. And they told me the car had been salvaged, and I looked at the pictures of damage, and I went over them very carefully. And when you look at the pictures, and I'll show them here, when you look at those pictures, you can tell that it really wasn't a major accident. This was an old car when it got in an accident. It had like 170,000 miles on it. State Farm Insurance Company took a look and judged that the damage was around $3,000, and that was enough to total it. So I got the car for very cheap, $2,800. I could have gotten it cheaper, but I didn't really feel like haggling with these guys. I checked the engine, and it was just in such good condition. The engine and transmission, this particular generation, the second generation Honda CRV, has a transmission that is just bomber. Fantastic. I don't know what Honda was thinking going away from this transmission, because the transmissions that they're putting in their cars today and in third generation CRVs and onward is not as good. In fact, I have a Pilot, a 2013 Pilot, that already I'm starting to get worried about the transmission, and it's only got 100,000 miles on it. So this thing was just, the drivetrain, the engine, everything was just perfect. There was just some problems with the front suspension. Now, I went over the car with a fine-tooth comb, and in upcoming episodes, I'm going to show you the different problems I encountered and what I had to do to fix it. And then what I'll also do is put together a price tag, right, in terms of how much I saved in parts and labor by doing this work myself. And that's the really neat thing. This is do-it-yourself stuff. You can do it. I am not a professional mechanic, and I should state that up front. Anything I put in this channel, take with a grain of salt. You need to not take my word on how I fix things and what I do, because honestly, professional mechanics know much more about these things than I do, but I'm willing to take those risks on my own car. But you, watching this video, you really need to check your own math and make sure that what you see here is actually correct. And I'll be reading comments as I produce videos for this series. Hopefully between all of us, we'll get the right answer in terms of what needs to be done for specific problems. Now, this car now has 172,000 miles on it. I fully expect it to go 200,000 miles or more. Basically, I anticipate at least getting back what I put into fixing this car by holding on to it and having it run as a daily driver for me for a couple of years. And then after that, as long as it runs, I'm saving money. For every day that this thing runs beyond the point where I break even, I'm saving money. So it's, if you've got kids going into college, if you've got expenses that are just killing you, this is one way you can save a lot of money. And I'm not talking a few hundred here or there. I'm talking potentially in a given year, thousands and thousands of dollars. Take, for example, what it takes if you have a Honda to replace the water pump. That is a timing belt job. And Honda, in many of their engines, didn't make it easy to get to the water pump. They hid it behind the timing belt, and you have to remove one of the motor mounts. And so it just builds up. The time and the labor just builds up. And some of these parts aren't very cheap if you're going for original equipment manufactured parts. Also, when it comes to fixing cars, look, you can see I'm wearing gloves. Always wear hand protection. I have eye protection as well. If you're doing something that's loud, wear ear protection. I fully intend to complete these projects with all 10 fingers intact and both eyes in perfect working order. And you should too if you're working on cars. Don't wear any metal jewelry. Wear clothing that has short sleeves. I actually went out and bought a crappy jumpsuit because sometimes I like to jump into my car and work on it right as soon as I get home. And you don't have to do that yourself. If you have one pair of clothes, though, that you don't care about, I would suggest making that your work set of clothes. And because believe me, you're going to get dirty and it's stuff that won't come off. And so you want to use clothes that you really don't care about. Safety. Saving cost, but above all, safety. Be safe when you're doing this work and wear the proper protective gear. That's it in a nutshell. I hope you stay tuned. This is the first video. The second video is going to be step 1 of dealing with my Honda, and it takes a while to produce these videos because the lighting is all messed up in my garage. So don't think I'm going to have this first video up in a day or two. We're probably talking about a couple of weeks before I get the first video primed and ready to post on YouTube. But I wanted to alert everyone that this channel is coming. This is what I'm doing. Tell all your friends. We'll see if we can get this thing fixed and on the road. End transmission. Oh, you made it to the end. That's awesome. Listen, I'm Doc. I'm the one who's, the voice behind these videos. And I really appreciate you taking the time to actually watch the whole thing. That's fantastic. If you've got time, if you want to, if you like the video, hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you get notified of new videos when I put them up. I'm going to try and do one a week. And I'm going to do a bunch of Instagram stuff, so make sure you follow me there and on Twitter. Instagram's going to be the shorter stuff. I don't have any merchandise yet. I'm planning to as the channel grows. If I succeed, I'll get some merch. For now, if you really want to help me in another way, you like these videos enough, I'm going to put links to my books in the description of the video. I'm a science fiction author in my spare time as well, so I'm juggling a lot of balls. But anyway, I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you at the next one. Hey, do me a favor and turn this junk off. I don't know how to deal with tech.